Destiny Rising is the first gacha game, mobile game, whatever, that I have put any amount of time into. And going into it, I was very intimidated because I obviously don't want to spend $1 billion on this game. And I've learned a ton over the alpha, the beta, and especially this last week, where I think I've got a pretty good grasp of some really key things having to do with like the gacha system and some gameplay mechanics that I think are helping me enjoy the game and understand a lot about the game. And I think a lot of you will find them useful as well. So if you do, please consider subscribing. But I wanted to go ahead and go over some of those in this video. So the first thing I really want to talk about is the gacha system. This is going to be some general tips about that because admittedly, everyone's goal, or most people's goals at least, are going to be to get through as much of the game as possible without spending any money. And that is like a perfectly understandable, reasonable goal. I do want to be transparent. I have spent a little bit of money on this game. I do plan on making videos on different characters, different exotics, and there are bundles that are helping me do that. I have only purchased things that I think will help me make better content for you guys going forward. I don't intend on just buying everything always for this game because A, I don't want to. I'm not really that type of player. B, my wife would murder me. And C, it's just like, I don't know. I'm just, it's not really that attractive to me. So my main mindset going into Destiny Rising has been, how do I, like, can I do everything without spending money? I really think you can do everything that's currently in the game without spending money and still set yourself up in a way where you can get a lot of the future characters just using the free currency that they give you through the quests and the events and that sort of stuff. So that's what some of these tips kind of focus on. I want to start with like the general pull tips. So there are two banners. A lot of you guys know this, so I'm going to do it in a very compressed version. There are the permanent banners, which kind of has all of the general characters. You know, pretty good. There are some really, really insane standout characters here, like Tan. This is the Well Warlock, for instance, that can get Izanagi's Burden. I am a huge fan of Kabir. I think he is incredible. One of my favorite characters. Really, all the characters are viable, but this is where a lot of people are going to be trying to get those characters. And then there are limited time banners where you can get things like the community's favorite Vex Mom or Goth Mom, Gwen, where you know you can only get her through this banner in a guaranteed way for 24 days. You're guaranteed to get her in 60 pulls, which you can do with free currency. And this is like, you know, she's super busted and everyone's going to want to pull her. And I have some general tips here. So I would say in general, on your permanent banner, I personally believe you should only ever spend the blue Bon Voyage charms. One charm is one pull. You get plenty of these from just doing the character quest and doing different storylines and different events and that sort of stuff. The refer a friend thing, for instance, we're going to go over some of the events here in a little bit. Only ever spend these. Now, there is another version of the charm, the Bon Voyage Charm Limited Edition. This is what you use to pull the limited time banners. You are also given a lot of these for different things in the game, but they do seem to be more rare. The third type of currency to get pulls are Lumia Leaves. 180 Lumia Leaves gives you one charm, whether that's limited edition or normal. That's my first big tip. Only spend on the permanent banner, only ever spend the regular blue charms. You are given a lot more of these, and you can buy them like in the exchange shop, for instance, where you can spend crystals or you can spend the dust to get them every single week. They're a lot easier to come across, and I recommend taking advantage of those things. Like you get a ton of dust, for instance, if I find my way back there, you get a ton of this dust just by doing regular pulls. So I recommend every week pulling and being like, hey, yeah, I'll take all of these charms. Make sure you're taking advantage of these weekly systems because they can be super helpful for you and get you a ton of free pulls just by using a currency from your other free pulls. The other thing I would say is use your LEs, of course, your charms on the limited edition banner pulls, but only ever use your Lumia Leaves, in my opinion, on the limited edition banner. Don't ever use them on the permanent banner. These characters tend to be a little bit more powerful, especially in the current meta. And like I said, the limited edition charms seem to be harder to come across. So you use the Lumia Leaves to supplement that. Don't waste them on the permanent banner. The other thing I would say is if you are a free-to-play or like a minimum spend player, you don't need tons of copies of every character. In my opinion, just having a Tan, just having a Kabir, just having a Gwyn is fine. There are certain, if you guys don't know, I guess what I'm kind of speaking to here is if you get additional copies of a character, you can use that to upgrade that character. So for instance, Kabir is one of my favorite characters. As I get more versions of Kabir from pulls, I can upgrade him. I can make it so I have a second blinding slam. I can make it so my durability of my Titan Barricade is 40% higher. I can make it so I get my some of my abilities back faster. It does improve your character, but just having some of these characters, especially the best ones, is absolutely enough for most of the current content in the game. So that's what I would say. And that's my approach towards, for instance, this limited time banner with Gwyn. I used my free quest pulls until I got a copy of Gwyn. And now I'm saving absolutely everything for the next limited time banner. Whether that's a Stella or a different character. Estella was a character from the alpha that summoned like an Ahamkara dragon. It was really sick. She's awesome. I want to make sure I have that character rather than like a second copy of Gwyn. Personally, that's how I'm approaching the game. I want to make sure I would much rather have base levels of every character than like an uber juiced version of a single character, just in my opinion. Other things to keep in mind, support characters seem to age a lot better from what I've gathered from chat. So, and that kind of makes sense. So they're going to make more busted DPS focused Guardians, but they're going to kind of age out and become less relevant over time. Whereas something like Tan, that's just constantly healing your entire team, that's a lot harder for them to power creep in a significant way. So if you can only focus on a couple characters, I would personally focus on more of the support characters like Tan or Kabir and that sort of thing. So those are kind of things I want to talk about in the Gacha system. The second tip has to do with the event page. They're going to be constantly trying to pull your eye to the store page and the draw page. The event page is so important. Most of these events are free, and they give you a ton of really cool loot. So the New Lights Challenge, for instance, has a lot of things that you'll be doing as you start playing the game. Do certain activities like Singularity or Legacy, or hang out in the patrol space. And these give you a lot of really good loot. And as you complete things, it'll give you free pulls as well. There are 14 levels of these. And over the course of this, you will get yourself a ton of really cool currencies to upgrade exotics, things to get you free pulls. Make sure you are logging in and paying attention to these. There are also, like Wolf's Ascension. Wolf is the starting character. You're going to be playing with him a ton. As you level him up, you will get yourself a ton of other really cool things, like upgrade materials, etc., etc. There are also sign-in bonuses. So I would say at the very least, make sure you are signing in every day. Every day you're getting at least one pull. I did not mean to click on any of that. You're getting at least one free pull. If 7 days in a row, you get a free exotic. You get to choose between Huckleberry, Borealis, or Crimson. And then at the end of 2 weeks, you get another choice of that. So just for logging in for the first 2 weeks, you're getting at least one pull a day. Every week, you're getting a free exotic. This is going to be a really great way for you to get stuff. There's also the Spreading Light event where if you use like an invite code, I've already got all these, so I don't really need to do that. If you want to share invite codes down below, you can. But as people are using invite codes and as you're using other people's invite codes, you get yourself a ton of free loot as well. So there are a lot of really great ways in the event tab to make sure that you're getting constantly free pulls and upgrade materials and stuff. Make sure you are checking every day and taking advantage of that. There's also all sorts of little social media things you can do, and there are things that like the rewards guide, like it shows you exactly where to get all of your draws from and that sort of thing. Very important. Go through that, spend some time, getting familiar with it and checking every day, because that will give you a lot of free pulls. Now, the next thing I want to talk about are some really cool quality of life things that I don't think are necessarily intuitive, especially to people who play Destiny 2 all the time, that I want to go over. But your gun can do a lot of cool things. So first off, every single gun in the game has shoot to loot built in. So let's say some heavy ammo drops, you want it, you can literally shoot it. You can see I got 49 heavy bullets there. Insane quality of life thing that I wish Destiny would do. Second off, anytime there's anything in the environment that you need to like say I can run over and collect this. This is like a spin foil thing, like a destination material. Yeah, you can run over and collect it, but you can also just shoot it. And no matter how far away it is, you will get those materials. Destiny should have done that a long time ago. And the last thing is, if you have any sort of like support thing that your character can do, you can probably shoot through it. So Kabir has Titan barricades. It is inherently got like the Titans thing where you can shoot right through it. Yolder has a Titan bubble. You can shoot right through it. Tan puts down a well. You can shoot right through like any, there's not like a sword that you can hit or anything. You can shoot through pretty much anything any of the characters do in this game. And your gun can be used to do a lot of really cool things. Unfortunately, you can't like shoot chests. You have to like walk over and actually loot them yourselves. But once again, like you can shoot destination materials from anywhere. So keep all that in mind, no matter what gun you're using as well. Like I said, like grenade launchers or rocket launchers, they all have shoot to loot on them. So that can be really helpful. So you don't have to like dip in and out of cover and like risk anything. You can just shoot that ammo from halfway across the universe and pick it up, which is really cool. Now, the fourth tip I have has to do with the absolute mind-numbing amount of currencies that are in this game. It is absolutely ridiculous how many currencies in different things and different logos there are in this game. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. You need a bunch of stuff for upgrading all sorts of things. It's all over the place. So the one thing that really helped me start to get an idea of like what the hell is going on is check the rewards for everything. If you are in the activities tab and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I want to run some Morgren's Prey, which is like a roguelike thing. What does this offer? Okay, this can drop enhancement prisms. Enhancement prisms are used to like upgrade your guns. And what's really cool is if you click on like anything in this game, it'll give you a description of what it does. Spread weapons enhancement materials used for like grenade launchers, rocket launchers. It shows you also exactly where to get them. For instance, if I go to like upgrade my character, if I go to my character screen real quick, and I want to upgrade my relic abilities, so like my character abilities. And it's like, oh, you need some of this cackling. You can't see it because it's behind me, but let's say like you need some of this purple leaf thing, the incandescent ribbon. It tells you exactly where to get them. Legacy drops them. The vendor for shifting gates drops them. Ranking up your reputation for this patrol zone, Red Sea Rift grants them. And if you click on it, it'll bring you directly to that thing. So just spend time like, oh, what the hell? I keep seeing like these fruit currencies, like this arc fruit. What is that? Oh, it's something that drops from Singularity Chaos and Shifting Gates and Singularity Order. And you can buy it from the Dust Shop, that sort of thing. That really helped me get an idea of like, what the hell is going on? What's also really cool is there are specific like mini games in this universe, like Shadow Shaper, which is like a card game. Different activities have a chance to drop a card for it. So for instance, if you're in like the activity screen and you just want to run a strike, okay, that's under Haven Ops. If you look at the full loot pool for strikes, you'll see you have a 20% chance of getting one of these cards for another minigame in an unrelated area. You could also get like bait for fishing. So it's really good to keep in mind like all sorts of things for all sorts of different things drop from everything. But there's also like very specific things they drop from. I know that's a little confusing, but like strikes are a great place to get legendary mods for your gun. But if you want artifacts, there are other things that are really good for that. Like for instance, if you go under Realm of the Nine, Singularity Chaos will drop artifacts. And so if you are farming specific things, like this will drop elemental fruits as well, like what we mentioned earlier. There are specific things that you'll want to farm for specific things. Morgren's Prey is really good for enhancement prisms. Everything has like one thing that it usually drops a lot of. So the sheaths here or the ribbons come from Legacy. So just as you're going through the main game and it's telling you to run these activities, just take a second and look at the loot pool. What's also really cool is a lot of things in this game just drop like specific exotics that are specific to that only. So for instance, the raid has all of these unique exotics, and you can see that by going to any of the encounters in the raid, clicking the exotic chance, and it just has a full loot table. Even though this game is super confusing, I will say it is very good at it might be hidden in menus and menus and menus, but it is very good at laying out like specifically what you can get and what the drop chances are in a way that main Destiny has literally never done. So this has been very helpful for me to understand like what the hell is going on, where do I get anything, and it's something that I recommend maybe taking a little closer look at as you go through the game. And the final thing that I have actually has to do to something very similar. Like I said, like this game has a billion currencies, it has a billion menus and a billion sub menus, and there's always something glowing on your screen that's demanding your attention. It can get unbelievably overwhelming, believe me. And I 100% sympathize with that. And what I will say is whenever I'm feeling super overwhelmed in this game, the one thing I like to do is just like default to the main quest that's above my head here. Just click on that. This gives you a bunch of very simple things to do. Complete this quest, upgrade any, exotic weapon to this level, clear this specific activity. It just helps kind of like force me into specific things, like narrow my focus a little bit. And that way I'm learning little bite-sized pieces at a time. Think about this page as a much better version of the New Light quest that Destiny 2 will never have. This is a really great introduction to the many systems of the game, the many currencies of the game, and just helps you get a little bit tunnel visioned in a good way as you go through it. I will also say there's a training ground here. You complete these little one-off events, take a little break from stuff, calm down a little bit. You also get Lumia leaves, which help you get pulls. There's little introductions to all the different characters. You can trial all the different characters and run like specific little missions for them, which is really cool. And then also one other thing I found super helpful, priority is like the main quest, but if you go over to optional, there's all sorts of little things that give you like a bunch of extra loot as well. So it's just like complete a daily commission in the Red Sea Rift. So yeah, so I would just click that. It would bring me directly to that usually. Or if I wanted to do like Morgrim's Prey on Heroic, I'd pick that and it would immediately bring me to that screen to run. So if you're ever overwhelmed, you're not really sure what the hell is going on, when all else fails, just click that book icon and pick the thing at the top of the list. That has really helped me a lot. If you have any more tips that you think I should have covered in this video or might want to cover in a future video, let me know down below. Once again, please consider subscribing. I hope you found this useful. Have a great night. I love your face, and I'll see you very soon. See ya.